has I'm trying to formulate this right,
Okay.
this question right. How has changing other people's lives changed you?
Oh, I've
So
never been asked that one before. That's good. I like that. Suck up my alley. How has it changed? You know what? It's allowed, not even allowed. Well, it will say allowed. It has helped, no helped. It has helped me understand that failures, some of the things that I consider failures are springboards to something else. And whatever I've gone through is to help the next person. So on the days where I felt my lowest or confused or hurt, I know that somebody's going to come across my path that I will be able to confidently say, I know exactly what you're going through. I've been there. This is how I got out of it. This is how I'm working and continuing to work on it. Like, I know that everything, and it's taken me a while, because it's that cliche statement, everything happens for a reason. And some moments are not as easy to understand that. And I know there are going to be other moments in my life where I'm just like, I just don't get it, right? But I'll tell you the pivoting point for me when that happened. Right before I got my dream job. So in education, being flown out to go to do an interview is just never heard of, right? Like, we don't have that business side in education. But within this company, I was able to be flown out. They put me in a hotel, we interviewed for the day, and they flew me back home. It was a big deal, right? So I went to J. Crew, girl. I got me a new suit. I was like, oh, this is my break. Yes, this is going to be everything. So I go out there and I interview. In my head, I kill it. Right? Like, that job's mine. Like, get me in front of anybody. It's mine. And I got a letter that said, you didn't get the job. And good luck with, whatever you're going to do. Right?
Yeah.
I was like, I remember like bawling. I remember sitting on the couch. Like, I just can't. I thought I had it in the bag. Yada, yada, yada. So I ended up going back to teach that year. But in that moment, I said to myself, I'm going to keep in contact with them because that's what I want. So I would email them every month. Hey, just making sure everything's good. Just checking in with you guys. Still interested in the job. 2 months will go by. Hey, guys, this is Destiny. Just checking in. I would constantly, thank you for the interview. Thank you for the opportunity. Like, constantly being in their face, pretty much. And then about 8 months later, I got a call and said, hey, we have an opening. Are you still interested? Now, of course I had to play it big, right? Like, well, let me see how much am I going to be being paid? They could probably pay me $1. And I would be like, yes, sign me up now. Get me out this classroom. But that was the moment when I was like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And I think that, and I always go back to that, that's it. Especially, I'm like, why is this happening right now? Like, this is not what's supposed to be. Go back to that moment. That's it. Like, that was the moment for me that I was just like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason, Destiny. Just enjoy the process, right? And I think that's what's helped me through everything that I do. The joy in the journey for me, not anyone else, not what I see that person doing or that person doing. This is my journey and I have to enjoy it. If not, you're going to miss the moments or get so upset. Like, can you imagine, like, if I would have never kept emailing them, who knows what would have happened? Like, I could have still been teaching right now. Who knows? But I decided in that moment to take that particular not negative, but take that moment where I thought that everything had just gone to the left and like, how can I make it better? And in that moment so I feel like that's catapulted me now. And then now I'm able to share my story more. I'm able to help women, and I can say, like, I feel like women feel it too. Like, you are sincere when you say, you know, that this is your journey that you're on right now. Like, I'm telling you that from experience, not from something that I see or read. Like, this is my own life that I'm living as well.
You said something so just profound, enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, because I feel like a lot of times we just want things quick.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't go our way, then we kind of just like brush it off and move to the next thing. But the thing that we really want is back here, and we kind of just was like, well, it didn't happen when I wanted it to happen, so I'm not gonna, look into it anymore. But the process is so important.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important. It's just like, you're baking your favorite cake or whatever. It takes time, but the end result is like the bomb. Like that cake be hidden. So it's like you have to learn to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. Even, sometimes the process, is not always easy.
Right.
You're gonna hit some roadblocks. You're gonna come to some obstacles that you're just gonna have to bear through. But it's so sweet at the end, though.
Yes.
So yeah, enjoying the process. So Destiny, tell us a little bit more about just how do you, because whenever I see your lives, you're always confident. You always have like this, like I said, you're on fire, girl. Tell us, how did that come about? Is that something that came over time, or did you always have that confidence and you just, over time you just built onto that? Like, how do you just breathe confidence?
Girl, it's a process, let me tell you. It's called speaking over yourself in words of affirmation. And I'm a big, huge fan. I don't know if y'all watch Mary Jane or not, but I love the sticky notes. Like, that is me. Like, I'm a sticky note queen, especially now. I got stuff like all over my mirror that I speak over myself every single morning. And it's a process and everything is gonna change, right? Like, you have all these beautiful babies and then your body changes, but you still having the cravings for the sweet. Well, at least for me, I still love me a good sweet something, cake, cupcakes, all that good stuff. And I want to eat it, right? Because I'm like, life is too short not to eat the cake. Like, eat the cake. Eat the cake. But then the next day I'm like, I shouldn't have ate the cake. Oh, and like one piece of cake made me gain like 10 pounds. No, Destiny, was you eating cakes every day last week was what caused you. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's about speaking over yourself. And you would never want your kids, you would never speak like that to your own children, right? So you should speak that way. The way you would speak to somebody else is the same grace that you should speak to yourself. And if you don't see it, speak it. So I love my body. I love the way I look when I look in the mirror. Like, actually looking at yourself in the mirror, I want you to stand in front of it and be like, I like the way I look. I like the way my stomach, all those stretch marks, that's beautiful, girl. You had 3 kids. Like, you have to start pointing out the stuff that when you look in the mirror, you're like, nope, change it immediately, right? And that's with any aspect, like, whatever you're doing, whatever you're pursuing, whatever your career is, or wherever you're at, speak life into that space, and not in a negative way, but really, truly speaking life, like you're talking, like somebody else is talking to you. And so I feel like that process has helped me. Yes, I've been confident, but I've also been very, very hard on myself, and self-esteem and understand. I'm just gonna have to lock the door. No. Close that door. Go to the bathroom in the other room. Or how about go to the bathroom in your room? Go, Daily, go. Sorry.
It's okay.
And close the door. All right, here we go. Keep in mind, David is here.
Look, I'm used to it because my kids do the same thing. Dad is like right there, but they are like, Mom.
Yes.
And the crazy thing about it is they ignore me as long as I'm not doing anything. But as soon as I'm doing something, it's like, Mom is the only person that can do it.
Oh my gosh. As soon as I talk on the phone, they like running here. I'm just like, I've been in here this whole entire time. It's like, cause you know where I'm at. What was I saying?
Oh,
Speaking of yourself.
yeah, speaking over yourself.
So so you were asking me, have I always been confident? So I have not always loved myself. I've had other people pour into me, especially my parents, even David. But really, I started to understand that it had to be a work that I had to do on myself. So that's when a lot of the journaling came in throughout this entire journey. The sticky notes on the mirror, like speaking over yourself, words of affirmation. I love writing down where in my head, if I was this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and all this stuff happened, how would I feel? So then I write how I would feel in those moments. And so there are going to be times when you don't feel that way, right? So you got to go back to, but no, this is how you're going to feel. So operate in the space as if it's already done. And when you do that, yeah, I'm telling you, when you do that, God opens so many doors. And I'm not even talking about financially. I'm just talking about within yourself, right? Like you're like, whoo, this is who I'm designed to be. Like, this is what you want me to do. Like, keep shining through me, God. You know what I mean? So that's what you see. When you see me on live or you see me in person, like, that's what you're seeing. The journey of me getting to a place that I know and I operate as if it's already done, regardless of what it is. It's already done.
Yes. A lot of people don't realize that your words have power. Like even God says that our words have power. You know, the power of life and death is in the tongue. So whatever you speak, that's what you manifest. That's what you words create.
Yeah.
Words can destroy.
Yes.
Words can build and words can tear down. You just gotta choose to speak a different language.
Yes.
You know. And
Yes.
so yeah, so and I think we had talked about it before. So I started doing my own little affirmations and stuff, and I'm like, okay, girl, and I noticed like within a couple of days in that it does spark a change. You know, you start thinking differently, speaking differently. So yeah, just let's just be mindful of our words, even when we're speaking to other people, when they make us upset or whatever. I know we want to spout out, but let's just speak life into them. We never know what that person is going through or facing. So we have to really watch our words and how we speak, just not only to ourselves, but others, like our kids, our spouse. You know, what you want to see, you have to speak.
That's true.
So what you want to see, begin to speak it, okay?
Yes. Yes.
So what advice or tips will you give to women who are married or not married, and they have kids or they don't have kids, or just people in general that want to start their own business, but they feel like, you know, that they're not going to be able to do it, or they feel like they won't be successful at it? What advice would you give them? What message is to inspire them to go after their dreams or whatever? What would you say to them?
I would say do it. Just do it. I'll tell you why. Because, you know, we always think the comparison game, right? So we see somebody that has like all these followers and all these likes and all this stuff, and we're like, man, that's where you want to be. So then you compare yourself. So when you got one like, you're like, and at the beginning of me, it was like my parents, like my mom and dad were like liking my stuff. So I'm just like, I'm not good enough. I'm not the best person. But then it's just like, you get one more, like, if you are able to change one person with your gift, that's success. Like one. And I know we think that it has to be like this astronomical number in order to claim success. But realistically, if you change one person, you have succeeded. And we all have gifts that have been programmed into us in order to help that next person. So whatever you feel in your heart of hearts, like maybe I want to start this business, or I want to start this blog, or I want to do this, whatever this is, do it. Y'all, I was making chapsticks at one point. Ask David, because he thinks it's hilarious. I was doing chapsticks. I said I was going to start making wreaths. What else have I put in my arsenal? All kinds of stuff, right? I'm just like, not that I ever put it out there, but like I've always wanted to do something. So I just say start, try. If you fail, get back up and keep going. That one failure is going to help something else. I just talked to a girl. She started a subscription box. The first one was not that good. And I remember saying to myself, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna keep up with this subscription box, right? But then that next time she hit it, it was on. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And I told her that. I never told her that I didn't really like the first one though, because I was like, she just started. But when we started talking, she said, I was nervous. I know I missed the mark on that first one. I honestly felt like quitting. She was like, but I knew this is something that I wanted to do. So I went ahead and did the second one. And your feedback, because I immediately texted her and was like, this is bomb. You hit it on the mark. And she was like, I needed, because I really wanted to stop. But she had to, you got to start somewhere. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be all aesthetically aligned. It doesn't have to have all the beautiful colors and the brand coloring and the best, all this stuff. No, just start. Just do it.
Do it afraid.
Huh?
Do it afraid.
Do it afraid. Do it extremely afraid. Like so nervous that if nobody likes your stuff, girl, you better start putting them sticky notes up.
Start speaking
Start speaking to yourself. I want you to start. I want you to be scared, but I want you to have some realistic expectations too. And know that if it doesn't go the way you want it to go, that's okay. That's fine. Work through that journey and find joy in it, because then you'll be looking back and being like, y'all, I put my business out there and then nobody clicked on it but my mom and my daddy. Right? Like that's just where it was. And like now for myself, it's completely different now. Like I'm, encouraging and motivating and being able to be on like the top sellers list and all of those good things, but things that I never saw for myself, but I had to keep going. And that's what I encourage you to do. Wherever you are in your journey and whatever you have in your heart, whatever that job you want to go after, or whatever that business you want to start, whatever that conversation that you might need to have with somebody, like whatever is tugging on you, I just highly, highly suggest and motivate you and nudge you. This is the nudge, y'all. This is the nudge. So just do it. Here we go. Do it. Just do it. And then worry about what happens after that, right? But just do it.
And the thing you guys have to remember is that not everybody is going to be able to get your vision.
Speak on it. Yes.
It's yours. It's not theirs. So they're not always going to understand it. Of course, you're going to have some people to hype you up and be like, okay, girl, I see where you're going with this. Or, okay, dude, boy, I see where you're going with this. But at the same time, nobody is going to be more motivated by the vision than you are. Like you have to do that thing, because like I said, they don't understand it. They don't see. You cannot tell your vision to blind people. You can't do that, because they're not going to see it the way that you see it. So whatever you want to do it afraid. Like my husband and I, we started Top Knox. We have no clue. My husband, I know he's good with media and camera work and all of that stuff. And me, I just like to encourage other people. It's just what I do. Like and so we just decided to start Top Knox. And we have a few clicks here and there, but it's okay. Like, we're doing it. That's what we decided to do.
Yes.
So whatever you want to do it afraid, and just work the vision, girl. Work the vision.
Exactly. And I love how you just said it. Like, everybody's not going to see what you see, and that's okay. Like David, My husband did not see Lime Life when I first started the way it is right now. He has evolved into my number one supporter, right? But y'all, at the beginning, he was like, really? Seriously? And you know, in my head, I'm like, how dare he? You know what I'm saying? This man got he's an entrepreneur himself. You should be the main one being like, yeah, you know, get it. And I was just like, what in the world? But it was a process, right? He didn't see it. But guess who saw it? Me and God, we've been having conversations, right? He already knew where my heart was. But I knew too that I was coming from a sincere place. I wasn't trying to be vindictive. I wasn't trying to go out here and make the most money. It was bringing me joy. Mm-hmm. And I saw the potential of where I was going. So I had, like she just said, speak over yourself. Yeah. Talk to yourself. You can't talk to blind people. Even if they live with you, it's okay, right? Because eventually they're going to see it. Like I said, he's my number one supporter. He always has been, but I'll take responsibility too. I hadn't really sat him down and talked about it either. I just kind of like started, like, yeah, what I'm gonna do. But you know, when we sat down and we talked about it, because communication is key with anybody, with your spouse, with your family,
yes, with yourself,
friends, with yourself, right? Like you gotta talk it out and tell people where you're going, because you can't assume that everybody knows where you want to go. Now, if they want to cheer you on, that's on them. You let them know, and then you keep pushing.
Mm-hmm. And we can't allow other people to bring, like, you know, sometimes people can say something and it'll just your whole, you know, sometimes you have to just keep your mouth closed with certain people. You cannot, you know, just do it, you know. So, because they're, you know, people are quick to speak against you know, your vision and what God has placed in your heart. And another thing we have to remember is the thing that we do, our purpose, is not just for us. It's for other people. Somebody on the other end is waiting for you to fulfill their purpose so that they can fulfill their purpose. And so that the person behind them can fulfill their purpose. Yes. So your purpose is not about you.
Right.
It involves you, but it's not all about you. It's about the next person in line. So remember, that thing that you're not doing is, you know, holding somebody else back.
Yes.
And eventually God's going to be like, okay, since you won't do it, I'm going to, you know, give it to this person. But he's still going to be sitting there waiting on you, like,
right. Like,
when are you going to start? Yeah. Exactly. So let's just keep that going. Keep that focus. Just do it.
Do it scared. Do it all the things. Like, just do it. Yeah. You know, I promise you.
Just Nike. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Don't overthink it, because your brain, like, the brain is like, and I've learned this too, like, you have to train your brain. You have been programmed since birth on things. And sometimes in life, the way that you were raised, some things that you don't even think affect you come up, and you just subconsciously, like, you just flow with whatever you know. And you have to be able to take a step back. And that's why I said it's important to understand what you're feeling and why you're feeling it, right? Because when somebody says something to you, and like Juanita said, you close down and you're like, well, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing right now, right? Why do you feel that way? Check that, right? Like, you could speak on yourself all day, but if you're not doing the work to understand why you're feeling that way, then you're never going to move forward. So figure out why you feel that way. What is that bringing up in you? Was it something from your past, something that happened recently? Like, whatever it is, go through it. And you got to keep going. You got to keep moving on.
Yes. And my husband and I were having a conversation, and you know, your parents build a foundation for you, and then you're supposed to build on that foundation. But there are some things that you learn in your past that you have to unlearn, like some toxic traits or things, not saying that your parents intentionally,
Exactly.
but
Yes.
there's just some things that from your childhood or from your past, whatever, that you have to unlearn and learn something better,
Yes.
a little bit better. So
Yes. Yes.
yeah, so there's some habits that you may have picked up in your childhood, or that you may have picked up, as an adult or young adult, that you're just gonna have to break in order to be better.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, so Destiny, okay, what are some takeaways? Give us like 3 takeaways that you want us to, take away from this conversation.
Gosh, because we covered so much stuff.
I know.
So many like golden nuggets though. Like it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch this again and like write down some stuff. The biggest takeaways: started scared. Speak life over yourself. Don't wait for anybody else to speak over you. And the only person that has to believe in you is you. That's the 3 biggest takeaways.
Okay, you guys, you heard that, right? You're afraid.
Yes.
What's the
oh crap.
You're afraid. Speak over yourself.
Speak over yourself, and the only person that has to believe in you is you.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's just keep that in mind, okay? If you need to write it down and put it up there. That could be the start of your affirmation right there. Just write those 3 takeaways down, put it on your mirror or whatever, put it in your car. So like when you pull down the sun visor, you're like, oh, okay, let me remember.
Yes, put it on your phone as your screensaver.
Yes, whatever you need to do to
do
get
it. Where you see it. Yes.
Yes.
If you don't have sticky notes, write it. I don't care what you write on. Get a shoebox. Get a tissue paper box. Write it on there so that you can see it every single day wherever you are. No excuses of why you aren't able to speak over yourself, because you are able to.
Yes. So Destiny, thank you again for joining us. We love you here at the Top Knox family. Like, you're a part of the family. She's an official Top Knox member.
I love my family, Top Knox. I mean, seriously, like when I met you and we talked at that women's conference, like I probably beelined over there to you because I was just like, oh my gosh, another mom. But like, I mean, it was an instant connection. We instantly, were talking over social media. And I like, and when I see you post, I'm like, she's speaking my language. Yeah. But it's like, I mean, as much as people like to say, and I used to say it too, social media, this and that, like you do need to take your breaks, because keep in mind too, social media shows you what you want to see. Like, you don't put everybody is not as open as I am, or like what it is, like putting your business out there, right? Or saying today was not a good day. I'm giving myself grace. I'm gonna move on. People put out what they want you to see. So just know that everything you see isn't real, but also know too, there are a lot of people out there that are real, and definitely Top Knox family is real.
Yes,
I'm so excited for y'all's channel and what you're showing, and just I love the Black love and family, and just showing everybody like it's okay to be you and your family and your babies, and let's have fun on this thing called life. And so yes, I'm proud of you guys as well.
Thank you so much, and we're gonna stay connected.
Yes.
I'm still following. Because
all I'm gonna do is this. That's all I'm gonna do.
I need my dose of destiny. So guys, thanks for joining us, and just continue to stay tuned. Like I said, go ahead and like, share, and hit the bell to be notified. And also, I'm gonna drop down Destiny's links to her business.
Yes.
And support her, guys, because she is awesome. She's on fire. Like I said, you got proof now, okay? So thanks for joining us, Destiny. Thanks again.
Thank
you. And we will see you guys another time.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.